Okay, so last class, what we learned is these topics. We learned about how to create the document theme, background, how to change header and footer. We learned about it, how to insert page numbers, and then we also learned about how to do the table of content, right? So this is what we learned last week. So basically, header and footer we learned to this way. We just double click here. Then from here we have a lot of different ways to do it, and then we also inserted the page numbers and so on. So that is what we learned. Did you manage to practice, Farah? Farah and Sajid?
Yes, sir.
Cannot hear.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, any doubts?
No doubt,
Any
sir.
particular thing you want to cover? Okay, looks like Sajid. Okay. Okay, if we don't have anything, then we will move on to today's topic. Today is the last day for Microsoft Word. So today we will cover the portions for Microsoft Word. So today we will learn about how to creating the tab list and then the shortcut keys. So basically we will focus on how to set the tabs, difference between the space bar, backspace, delete and backspace. I think this is a bit basic. We should have covered earlier, but I think we'll just try to cover today. And then we will focus on some of the shortcut keys that we will use in your day-to-day usage. Okay. So let me go and open up a new document. So once you open a new document, we have the margins, rulers. Remember, right? We learned about this. If you cannot see this, either you go to the right corner here, you click here. You see, for me, I've had it before. So when I click, it disappears. So if you don't have, just one more time you click, this will appear again. Or the other way is you go to view and ruler, insert, and you either you tick it or you remove it. So if you do this, you can see the ruler. So this we have covered in the 2 classes ago. So now if I want to create a document and for example, I want to create a name, list of name and their phone numbers. There are many ways you can do this, right? So first thing, maybe you have learned about tables. You can use the tables. So today we will just use a simple way, like I want to type all the names and then I want to type the phone number. So I just use a space bar and I type phone number. So if you see here, is the space between name and tab, the phone number is very close. If I use the standard tab, which is on the left side of the keyboard, you see it can move only a bit. So now I want to shift the whole thing here. So first thing, even before I do, now I want the name to be in the inside of the document. So I can shift this here. So you can see I have shifted the left indent to here. So the cursor also comes here. So now I can type name. Now I want to create another tab, but the tab I want it to be more spacious. I want it to be here. So I just go here. I just click here on the top. You see, now there is a small L-shaped icon that is called the left tab. The tab has been created at this point. I just undo, do one more time. You can see here there is nothing. So now I want to leave so much space and then I want to have the next word. So I just go to the top, I click here. It should appear here. Okay. And now if I space the tab bar, I just press only once. You could see it moved all the way to the tab that we created in the top here. So now I type phone number. Okay, so now I want to press enter. Automatically, the cursor comes to the left indent here. It doesn't go to the margin here. So you can set this kind of settings if you want to create some similar kind of documents. Okay, so I just type the name. Now I press the tab bar. Okay, it all the way comes to here. So I just type random number and I enter again. Okay, I want to write another name. I press tab. Okay. Maybe there is another one. Okay, so now I have typed this. So if you wanted to make it nicer, you know, right, how to make it bold. You can choose this. You can go to bold. Similarly, here you can go to bold. You can also change the size. So similarly, you can change the size. Okay, so but now if you want to read this, you see there's a lot of space between, but when you want to read, it is not easy for you to know which number is for who. So there is one way you can make a line or a reference here for you to match. So how can we do that? So you can look at the paragraph group. This is what we call as a dialog box for the paragraph group, right? So let's click it. You will see the screen. We have used this before to adjust the spacing and the intent before that. We have done this in the previous classes. Now you look at your bottom left corner, you see a icon here called tabs. So just click on this. You will get this screen. And in this dialog box, if you see, there is a leader and there is a few options. So now it is none. That's why there's no line or nothing. And here you can see number 2 means dotted line. Number 3 means like a dash line. Number 4 is like continuous line. So I just want to, maybe I want like a dotted line. So I choose 2 and I click OK. If I do this, now there will be nothing happening because I just choose only one line. If you want this for everything, you just have to select all the text where you want this to be happening. Then you click this, repeat the same thing. I don't know why this is not happening. Just give me a second. Okay. So did you understand this? Any doubts?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. How about Farah?
I understand, sir.
Okay. So this is simple, right? So this is a very easy one. So this is about tab. So I just repeat one more time. So basically, if you wanted to increase the space from the margin, you use the indent. So you can shift this, and you want to create a tab, you have to click on the top. Then you will see this small like an L-shaped icon. Then you can use the tab button. The tab button is in the left side of your keyboard. So when you press this tab, automatically you will the icon will cursor will move to the space where you have set this. So you can type all the information that you need, and when you want to make a line or something to connect, you can click the dialog box on the paragraph group, go to the tabs, and then you can select what design you want. Okay, so now I chose the dash design. So now that design has been updated. So this is about using the tab. The next thing we will focus today is about shortcut keys. Okay, so before we go there, okay, there's one more small information, but I believe this you are very, very familiar by now. Okay, so what is the difference between a space bar and a tab? I just explained, right? So when I want to type like, how are you doing? So I just use after how I type use the space bar. I just use the space bar to use one space. Okay, so this is called a space bar. So when I want more space, I just click and I use a tab. So here, since I set the tab, it is moving here. So this is called backspace. So backspace is basically, okay, I don't have that icon here clearly. Okay, but backspace is in your keyboard, usually on the right side top corner. So when you do a backspace, it clears the space or the character towards the left side. If you see carefully, now the cursor is at the empty space. Okay, so I just keep the cursor at the after W. So when I press the backspace, the W is deleted. So this is called backspace. And what is about delete? So now the cursor is just before A. I press delete. It deletes A. So can you spot the difference between backspace and delete? Backspace clears the space or it deletes the data towards the left side of the cursor. Whereas your delete will delete one set of the space or alphabet, whatever you type on the right side. So this is the difference between delete and backspace. This you should be familiar, right? So this is what about the space and delete. Next, we will learn about shortcut keys. So when we use a lot of documents, as you started to use Microsoft Word, every day you will be using a lot of typing documents and so on in your work. So Microsoft Word has these options where you don't need to go into, you search and you go to every page. Sometimes you want to go here, you want to do certain things. So a lot of actions, they have shortcut. Shortcut means easy to do, right? When at workplace, what we say, don't take shortcut in safety. Shortcut means something that is very easy to do. So in safety, you cannot do a shortcut, but in work, where it is allowed, like Microsoft Word, a shortcut is to help you out to do your job easily. So I will just share some shortcuts which will be useful for you for your day-to-day works. So I will just demonstrate. For example, you want to make all caps lock. So you have to go to the font tab, then you have to do a lot of changes, right? So in the past, we have learned about all these things. So you see, if you want to do this, you select this, then you go to dialog box, all caps. You can do this way. So this is the standard way of doing it. But you can also use by doing a shortcut. So if you want to change any word to caps lock, you select the word, then press Control, Shift, and A at the same time. So I did not go to the dialog box here. You can see I just used my keyboard to change. So this will help you to save a lot of time when you are working a lot of documents. It will be easy for you if you can remember all the shortcuts. But don't worry, initially it will be difficult. But as you start to practice, you will be very familiar to do all these things. You can remember because once you practice, you can do this. So I just repeat one more time. Let me undo this. So if you want the text to be caps lock, just select it. Control, Shift, and A. Press at the same time. You have to press all the three at the same time. And you can see this is converted into all capitals. Now I want this to be bold. How do we do that? Usually we select this, then we go to the font, we click the bold. There is also a shortcut for that. That is Control and B. So press together, it changes. You can see that when we use this automatically, it also changes here. You can see here what is the shortcut. If you go nearby, you can see it is showing you bold below, and then in the bracket Control plus B. Similarly, if you want italics, it is Control plus I. So if you want italics, you click here, it changes to italics. Okay, now I will try using Control and I. It also changes. So in the same way, you want to underline. You can see here, underline is Control plus U. So you don't need to remember this by heart. Once you start to practice, you will automatically do this by yourself. So either I can choose here to do the underline, or I can just go and use Control plus U. Also, it is underlined. So shortcuts are meant to be easy way for you when you want to type. It's easy. You can use a keyboard to do a lot of things. Okay. So now I want this document, this paragraph, I want to increase the indent. I want to shift the paragraph indent. I can choose this and I press Control and M. You see the indent has shifted. It keeps shifting. So you can use Control plus M, or you can go to the paragraph dialog box and you can change. Any doubts so far?
No doubt. Can share again the shortcut list?
Yes. After the class, I will send you the document. Don't worry. Okay. You don't need to remember all these things. I will share you all the shortcut keys. This is not the only shortcut keys. There are many shortcut keys, but this is just only some examples for you. Okay, so I will share this. But after you learn, get more familiar, you can actually, from Google also, you can find a lot of other shortcut keys that is available for Microsoft Word. But for day-to-day works, this is good enough. Okay, I will send this. Okay.
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Pardon?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sir, I have one question. Sir, suppose
Yes.
everything document I prepare it is suppose everything done ready. So I need to do PDF. If I know do PDF, then somebody can change my document, right?
Okay, your question is you want to change the document to PDF.
Yes, correct, sir.
So you want to know how to convert it into PDF, is it?
Yes, correct, sir. Yes, correct.
Okay, I will share to you shortly. Okay, maybe after I just cover all the shortcuts, I can share to you, or I can share now also. Okay, you can just go here, go to the Office icon. You can go to Save As, click here. You see, it's asking for file name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here I can, whatever name you want to choose, and then you see here, save type as, you click here. Okay, this is this version, you don't have this kind of facility. Okay, the new versions of Microsoft Word, you have these options, okay, where you can go directly and you can save. Actually, you can see here PDF in Microsoft 10 and all the new versions 2013, all the versions you can see here. I think 2007, this option still not here, but okay, we can do in another way. You can go to print, and here you can go print to PDF. Okay, so usually here you choose the printer name, right? So instead of choosing the printer name, you just go choose print to PDF. And when you click OK, it will ask you where to save this document. So I choose desktop, then I say, just okay, this is a story. I just type story and I click save. So it is already saved there. So let me go and check. I minimize. Yes, I can see a story PDF file. Let me open and see. Yes, the document that you asked in PDF, we now converted into PDF. Right, you can see this is the PDF file. Okay, you got it?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so remember, there are two ways. Okay, maybe in your office computer, you should be able to see the first method that I showed. You can just go save as. Okay, you can also come here. Okay, save as. I think here there's this in this version, it is like here, other format. Yeah, even in other format, actually, you don't have this PDF here. But usually in the new versions that has been updated by Microsoft Word, you can see here PDF, so you can just choose here. You don't need to go to the print option. But since in this version that we are using, we don't have, you will just go to print and choose Microsoft Print to PDF. Okay, give the file name and you save, then you will get the file in PDF. Okay. Any other doubts?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now I'm here. Okay, so we talk about Control M for this paragraph. Now, if you see this document, I have 20 pages here. Now I want to go to the first starting of the document. So there are two ways, right? Either you scroll and you go up. But if you have hundreds of documents, hundreds of pages, how you can do that is very difficult and tiring. So what you can do, Control and Home. The Home button is usually on the top side of the first row of your keyboard. So find where is your home key. So Control plus Home, it comes to the beginning of the document. Now I want to go to the end of the document. So I press Control and End. See, this is the 20th page of my document. So this is the last page. This is the last page. So this is very useful when you have like 200 pages, 100 pages, 50 pages document. You have reports or something. You want to go to the first page, or you have some training materials. You can use this to go to the first page or last page. So control and end is to the end of the document. Control and home is to the beginning of the document. Clear? Now, okay. So if you want to copy anything, I believe you are familiar with this, but let me just explain. I want this text to be copied, so I just highlight this. You just press Control C. The other way is you right click, you copy. But okay, instead of that, if you want to use shortcut, Control and C. So I want this to be pasted here. So what I want to do is I just press Control V. So you can see that the document is pasted just below here. So in normal times, what you do, you just right click and you will paste the paste. So this is another method of doing. Now we are using shortcuts, so I used Control V. Now I don't want this paragraph to be here. So what do? I want this to be deleted. So you can just choose this and you can press the delete key. Right? Sometimes you have certain cases where, okay, this paragraph is here. I don't want to copy this, but I want this to go below the other document. So what should I do? I want to cut this paragraph. So you can either right click and use the cut, or you see cut, the paragraph disappeared. Or I can use Control X. So the paragraph is cut and removed. So now I want the paragraph to be pasted here. So I use Control V. You can see the paragraph has been shifted here. Do you understand this? Or do you want me to explain again?
No, sir, understand.
Standard one that you will be using already, right? So this is what we have for cut, copy, paste. And the other shortcut is Alt. You can see below your in the keyboard left corner, Control function, and you can see there's the Alt. So if you press the Alt button, it shows all the first letter of all the icons. You see here, H, N, P, all the icons come here. So what it means like that. Okay, if you want to go to the page layout, I just press P, it goes to the layout tab. And now in the layout tab, again, you can see a lot of all the icons shortcut is mentioned here. So if I want to go to the orientation, I just type O. This is highlighted. So this is a shortcut to use without you don't use the mouse, you can use the keyboard to navigate between the different tabs and choose different options. So you don't want this again, you just press Alt, disappears. You want to see the icons again, press Alt again, you will see all this. So now I want to go to insert, I just press N. It goes into the insert. In the insert now there is a lot of shortcut keys. Now I want to insert a blank page. I just type NP, a blank page is created. You see, a blank page is created. So this is also very useful, but usually you don't really use this in your day-to-day life, but you can know this, and if you are interested, you can always practice this. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Rajiv, any doubts for you? Sajib, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, I can.
Okay. So with this, we are coming to the end of our Microsoft Word portions.